Hey everybody, it's your old pal Maddog. Today's day two of our journey in Ireland. We're in Northern Ireland. We're still in Belfast. Um, so let's cover some things. Last evening we stepped across the street for a pint at the Crown, which wonderful place. Talked about that yesterday. We wanted to go to dinner at a couple different places that we tried. One we couldn't get a reservation for. The other I was able to pull one down, but I had Deb call the first place just to say, you guys sure you're out? Can we sit at the bar? I mean, there's just two of us. We're fairly portable, and frankly, I'd rather sit at the bar if we can. Can't always. Ask first, okay? So we got tipped off that there were some things going on sort of in different parts of Belfast. And if you saw anything in the news today, you saw what was going on. So needless to say, we kind of got shanked out of dinner last night, but we got a hell of a walk out of it. And I thought it was rather odd as we were walking to what was supposed to be a 7:15 dinner reservation fairly nearby, maybe zero point 0.4 mile away, maybe zero point 0.5. The place really looked like a damn ghost town. It really did. Things were kind of closed up, and I thought, this is really odd. And I've been to some places that kind of get done early. I remember when we were in Maui way back when, this is before the fire, and you'd walk down Front Street in Lahaina, and by 9 o'clock there were practically tumbleweeds rolling down that place. I'm like, what? If about the latest you were going to stay out is if you stayed too late at dinner at the Lahaina Grill, and we did, but still, that's about it. The place just dries up, and I thought, well, a little odd, but maybe that's a Tuesday thing in Belfast. By that point, I was kind of burned out. I didn't want more pub food. So anyway, we ended up at the protein bar and had heard that things were a little wacky. And of course, we walked over to the place that we were supposed to be at, only to find that they were shut down. We didn't get any kind of notification. And what had happened is on Monday there was a stabbing that involved the perpetrator was Sudanese, I believe. And certain elements of the community didn't take well to that and haven't reacted well to that. And things were smelling just a little bit too familiar for Northern Ireland last night. In just you looked out the window, there was I've seen a couple helicopters remain absolutely stationary over the course of the last 2 days. That's a little weird. And some plumes of smoke rising from places that I didn't really think there necessarily would or could or should be, and some of that was a little off colored, and it was just a little weird. So we went to bed very early, which was probably the right thing to do, and got a very good night's sleep, and managed to, in very short order, get my body reset to being 6 hours off the home time. We got up early today, had breakfast, basically had the full Irish, and went over. We had reservations to be at the Titanic experience at about 9 o'clock. We rode over with an Uber driver who himself is not originally from here, and just sort of made casual inquiry about whether things were okay and what was going on, and got kind of filled in on what's going on. And this is not cool, folks. Not cool at all. This isn't the Troubles. This isn't any kind of sectarian sort of thing. But at any rate, we're safe. We're fine. Everything's fine. And I don't mean that in the normal sense, like, everything's fine. No, everything's fine. Still walking around town. Everything's good. Feel no danger whatsoever. We're going to go to dinner tonight because the first place we wanted to go last night will be open again. We've called ahead, and they said, yep, we're going to be open. It's up for our customers to decide whether they can get there and back safely or not. And we're just a short walk away through central Belfast. And then really kind of the last part of town, I'm really worried about seeing any business going down in. So we're going to be fine. We're out of here tomorrow morning early. Yours truly got a little twitchy about a week ago and got train tickets out of a different station instead of the one that I can literally see out the window in our hallway in the hotel that's probably all of 500 yards away. And there may be about a 30 quid convenience fee for going over to that one tomorrow, and that's fine. I'm not going to tell you what we're doing tomorrow, but it's going to be very interesting. Before I leave you, I want to tell you what we did today for a long time, and it was really interesting. We went over to the Titanic experience, which is really one of the better museums I've been in. There's plenty of history up here, but the museum did an excellent job of starting you walking through really what's the industrial history of Belfast. This place during the Industrial Revolution got a lot of investment for just a lot of reasons, some of which were political, but there were a lot of investments up here in Northern Ireland, especially in the industries of linen, linen manufacturing, putting those fibers together, lots of that, and then also shipbuilding, because on the river and through the Belfast Lough, there's or lock or whatever it is, but kind of the big bay up there. There's shipbuilding has occurred there for a couple hundred years, like probably 250 years, and literally we were standing at the place where the Titanic and her sister ship, the Olympic, were made by the company that a major conglomerate that made ships. By the time the Titanic was made, J.P. Morgan had a major piece of that. So you had a lot of American dollars invested in that, and this is where a lot of that shipping was coming from. And those two ships were designed to carry passengers. Obviously, they weren't designed. This isn't Carnival. This isn't Cunard. These aren't dedicated passenger ships to take people around the Caribbean and give them, Mai Tais and pina coladas and let their kids throw up on the water slide. They were really means of commerce. They got the Astors, or they were supposed to anyway. People, very high class travelers, were on these. Immigrants trying to get to the United States or trying to get to the New World or North America in general, Canada or the United States as quickly as possible to start a new life or to do something different were on those ships, and tons of mail was on those ships. That was really the thing. The Titanic was the RMS, meaning it was a Royal Mail steamer. They carried the Royal Mail and they carried the U.S. mail to get between Europe and North America and the United States and Canada, and it was a big deal. So those ships were built to be fast, and they were built to be safe. A lot of engineering went into those, and it's just very interesting to see all of that and tie it together. And of course, you know how the story ends, and what the postscript was when the wreck was actually found in what, the 90s, maybe the early 2000s. So you knew where it was going to begin with, but it's pretty amazing to go out and stand literally where those ships were made. It tied the whole history of the area together kind of interestingly. And then, you combine that with the fact that, of course, mention was made that some of those skilled trades were filled by Catholics, and damn few Catholics had good jobs back in those days by design and by political reasons. And it's the way it was. And to see kind of what's going on today is just a little too eerie. It's so far it's been a great trip. Wait till you see what we're doing the next 2 days, and I'm not telling you yet, but it's going to be pretty amazing. So we're going to get things settled down here, get ready to roll out tomorrow, change the train tickets to a different station, or maybe I'll just walk over there and buy them. That's probably the easiest thing to do, and we're going to go from there. So everybody have a good evening. We're safe up here. Again, we're fine. We're good. Everything's going to be fine. And we're going to have a great dinner and a relatively early evening, probably a pint or two maybe, and we'll see where it goes from there. Everybody have a good evening. Rock on. Play a train song. See you later.